हेलो एवरीवन। वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल एक्सप्लोरिंग डायरीज़। और इस वीडियो में हम लोग एनाटमी ऑफ फ्लावरिंग प्लांट को रीडिंग करेंगे ओनली, और हम इसमें कुछ समझेंगे नहीं। और देखते हैं, एक वीडियो में हो जाए तो एक में, नहीं तो फिर दूसरी वीडियो भी बना लेंगे। एंड सब प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। You can very easily see the structural similarities and variations in the external morphology of larger living organisms, both plants and animals. Similarly, if we were to study the internal structure, one also finds several similarities as well as differences. This chapter introduces you to the internal structure and functional and organization of higher plant. Study of internal structure of plant is called anatomy. Plant have cells as basic unit. Cells are organized into tissues, and in turn the tissues are organized into the organ, and different organs in plant shows differences in their internal structure. Within angiosperms, the monocots and dicots are also seen to be anatomically different. Internal structures also shows adaptations to diverse environment. The tissue. A tissue is a group of cells having a common origin and usually perform a common function. A plant is made up of different kind of tissues. Tissues are classified into two main groups, namely meristematic and permanent. Tissues based on whether the cells being formed are capable of dividing or not. Meristematic tissue. Growth in plant is largely restricted to specialized region of active cell division are called meristems. Meristose means divided. Plant have different kind of meristems. The meristems which occur at the tip of root and shoot and produces primary tissue are called apical meristem. Root apical meristem occupies the tip of root, while shoot apical meristem occupies the distant-most region of stem axis. During the formation of leaves and elongation of stem, some cells left behind from shoot apical meristem that constitute the axillary bud. Such buds are present in axils of leaves and are capable of forming a branch or a flower. The meristems which occur between mature tissue is known as intercalary meristem. They occur in grasses and regenerate part removed by grazing herbivores. Both apical meristem and intercalary meristem are primary meristems because they appear early in the life of plant and contribute to formation of primary plant body. The meristems that occur in mature region of roots and shoots of many plants, particularly those produce woody axis and appear later than primary meristem, are called secondary or lateral meristem. They are cylindrical meristem, fascicular vascular cambium, interfascicular cambium, and core cambium are example of lateral meristem. These are responsible for producing secondary tissue. Following division of cells in both primary as well as secondary meristem, the newly formed cell becomes structurally and functionally specialized and lose the ability to divide. Such cells are termed as permanent or mature cells and constitute the permanent tissue. During the formation of primary plant body, specific region of apical meristem produces dermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. Permanent tissue. The cells of permanent tissue do not generally divide further. Permanent tissue having all cells similar in structure and functions are called simple tissue, and permanent tissue having many different type of cells are called complex tissue. Simple tissue. A simple tissue is made up of only one type of cells. Various simple tissues in plant are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Parenchyma form the major component within the organ. The cells of parenchyma are generally isodiametric. They may be spherical, oval, round, polygonal, or elongated in shape. Their walls are thin and made up of cellulose. They may be either be closely packed or have small intercellular spaces. The parenchyma performs various functions like photosynthesis, storage, secretion. Collenchyma The collenchyma occur in layer below the epidermis in most of the dicot plant. It is found either as homogeneous layer or in patches. It consists of cells which are much thickened at the corner due to deposition of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. Collenchymatous cells may be oval, spherical, polygonal or often contain chloroplast. These cells assimilate food when they contain chloroplast. Intercellular spaces are absent. They provide mechanical support to growing part of the plant such as young stem and petiole of leaf. Sclerenchyma consists of long, narrow cells with thick and lignified cell wall having a few or numerous pits. They are usually dead without protoplast. On the basis of variations in the form, structure, origin, development, sclerenchyma may be either fiber or sclerid. Fibers are thick-walled, elongated, pointed cell, generally occur in groups in various parts of plant. Sclerids are spherical, oval or cylindrical, highly thickened dead cell with very narrow lumen or cavity. These are commonly found in fruit wall of nuts, pulp of fruit like guava, pear, sapota, seed coats of legumes, and leaves of tea. Sclerenchyma provides mechanical support to the organs. Complex tissue. Complex tissue are made up of more than one type of cells and these work together as a unit. Xylem and phloem constitute the complex tissue in plant. Xylem function as conducting tissue for water and mineral for root to stems and leaves. It also provides mechanical strength to plant part. It is composed of four different kind of elements, namely tracheids, vessels, xylem fiber and xylem parenchyma. Gymnosperm lack vessels in their xylem. Tracheids are elongated tube-like cells with thick and lignified wall, tapering ends, and these are dead and are without protoplasm. Inner layer of cell wall have thickening which vary in form. In flowering plant, tracheids and vessels are main water transporting element. Vessel is long, cylindrical, tube-like structure made up of many cells called vessel members with lignified wall and a large central cavity. The vessel cells are also devoid of protoplasm. The vessel members are interconnected through perforations in their common wall. The presence of vessels is characteristic feature of angiosperm. Xylem fiber have highly thickened wall and obliterated central lumen. These may be either be septate or aseptate. Xylem parenchyma cells are living and thin-walled and their cell wall are made up of cellulose. They store food material in the form of starch or fat and other substances like tannin. Uh, the radial conduction the radial conduction of water takes place by the ray parenchymatous cell. Primary xylem is of two types, protoxylem and metaxylem. The first form, primary xylem elements are called protoxylem, and the later formed primary xylem is called metaxylem. In the stem, the protoxylem lies towards the center pith and the metaxylem lies towards the periphery organ. This type of primary xylem is called endarch. In root, the protoxylem lies towards the periphery and metaxylem lies toward the center. Such arrangement of primary xylem is called exarch. Phloem transport food material usually from leaves to other parts of the plant. Phloem in angiosperm is composed of sieve tube elements, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Gymnosperm have albuminous cell and sieve cells. They lack sieve tubes and companion cells. Sieve tube elements are also long tube-like structure arranged longitudinally and are associated with companion cell. Their end walls are perforated in sieve-like manner to form sieve plates. A mature sieve element possesses a peripheral cytoplasm and a large vacuole but lack a nucleus. The function of sieve tubes are controlled by the nucleus of companion cell. Companion cell are specialized parenchymatous cell which are closely associated with sieve tube elements. Sieve tube elements are and companion cells are connected by pit fields present between their common longitudinal walls. The companion cell helps in maintaining the pressure gradient in sieve tubes. Phloem parenchyma is made up of elongated, tapering cylindrical cells which have a dense cytoplasm and nucleus. The cell wall is composed of cellulose and has pits through which the plasmodesmatal connections exist between the cells. Phloem parenchyma store food material and other substances like resin, latex, and mucilage. Phloem parenchyma is absent in most of the monocots. Phloem fibers, bast fiber, are made up of sclerenchymatous cell. These generally absent in primary phloem but are found in secondary phloem. These are much elongated, unbranched, and have pointed needle-like apices. The cell wall of phloem fiber is quite thick. At maturity, these fibers lose their protoplasm and become dead. The phloem fiber of jute, flax, hemp are used commercially. The first formed primary phloem consists of narrow sieve tube and is referred to protophloem, and later formed phloem has bigger sieve tube is referred to metaphloem. The tissue system. We were discussing type of tissue based on type of cell present. Let us now consider how tissue vary depending on their location in the plant body. The structure and function would also be dependent on the location. On the basis of the structure and location, there are three types of tissue system. These are epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system or fundamental tissue system, and vascular or conducting tissue system. Epidermal tissue system. The epidermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of whole plant body and comprises epidermal cell, stomata, and epidermal appendages that includes trichomes and hair. Epidermis is outermost layer of primary plant body. It is made up of elongated, compactly arranged cell which form a continuous layer. Epidermis is usually single layer. Epidermal cells are parenchymatous with a small amount of cytoplasm lining the cell wall and a large vacuole. Outside of the epidermis is often covered with waxy thick layer called cuticles which prevent loss of water. Cuticles are absent in roots. Stomata are structures present in epidermis of leaves. Stomata regulates the process of transpiration and gaseous exchange. Each stoma is composed of two bean-shaped cells known as guard cells which enclose the stomatal pore. In grasses, the guard cells are dumbbell-shaped and the outer wall of the guard cell away from the stomatal pore are thin and inner wall towards the stomatal pore are thick, highly thickened. The guard cell possess chloroplast and regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Sometimes a few epidermal cells in the vicinity of guard cell become specialized in their shape and size and are known as subsidiary cells. The stomatal aperture, guard cell, and surrounding subsidiary cells together called stomatal apparatus. The cells of epidermis bear a number of hair. The root hair are unicellular elongation of epidermal cells and helps absorb water and minerals from the soil. On the stem, the epidermal hair are called trichome. Trichome is shoot stem. In shoot system are usually multicellular and they are maybe branched or unbranched, soft or stiff. They may even be secretory. Trichomes help in prevention of water loss due to transpiration. Ground tissue system. All the tissues except epidermis and vascular bundle constitute ground tissue. It consists of simple tissues such as parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Parenchymatous cells are usually present in cortex, pericycle with medullary rays. In primary stem and root, in leaves, the ground tissue consists of thin-walled chloroplast containing cells called mesophyll. Vascular tissue system. The vascular system consists of complex tissue, the phloem and the xylem. The xylem and phloem together constitute vascular bundle. In dicot stem, cambium is present between xylem and phloem. Such vascular bundle, because of the presence of cambium, possess the ability to form secondary xylem and phloem tissue, hence are called open vascular bundle. In monocots, the vascular bundle have no cambium present in them, and hence, since they do not form secondary tissue, they are referred to closed. When xylem and phloem within vascular bundles are arranged in alternate manner along the different radii, the arrangement is called radial, such as in root. In conjoint type of vascular bundle, the xylem and phloem are joint jointly situated along the same radius of vascular bundle. Such vascular bundles are common in stems and leaves. The conjoint vascular bundle usually have phloem located only on the outer side of xylem.